Hi, I'm JP.
And I'm Adam.
I've never seen Lost.
I have.
I'm told that it's good.
I liked it.
I'm told that it made sense. Sort of. But we're watching it out of order.
So it definitely won't make sense.
But it might still be good. Since we won't expect it to make sense, we'll still be able to appreciate each episode on its own merits as a 1-hour story.
Sometimes 2 or 3.
As opposed to just a fraction of an ongoing, sprawling, and increasingly complex tangle of relationships, personal stories, mysteries, mythologies, experiments, social dynamics, unnatural disasters, unanswered questions, and hot tropical hookups.
Are you okay?
I'm not sure.
Because you lost me a little bit there at the end.
Well, good, because I've been lost since the beginning. We're lost on Lost.
Ooh, welcome everybody to Lost on Lost. I'm JP Russell, and I'm joined as always by a man who has the stones to speak his mind, Adam Busher.
That's me. I'm here to tell the truth, and the truth is, I got it here somewhere. Never mind.
Oh man. Hey, fair warning to our audience, this is the first episode recorded of Work Trip 2022, so we'll see how this goes. Yeah, we'll explain at a later date, but holy moly. If you experience any sort of audio blips or blurbs or noises, we apologize.
But we are committed to the bit, and we're leaning in.
We're in too deep now.
Episode 37 of this wild and crazy trip.
We can't stop, or tens of people would be disappointed. So, Adam, I recently finished the book Endurance about the failed Shackleton expedition.
Oh, shit.
To the Antarctic. It's super interesting. I would highly recommend it to anybody who's looking for just like a crazy tale of truly endurance. But I noticed something sort of in watching this episode. Nowhere in the Shackleton diaries of them trying to escape the Antarctic did they stop and build a church. And I'm just wondering how that may or may not have improved their situation had they just built a church.
Yeah.
Maybe really get Catholicism spread to the Antarctic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe we'll get the answer to it in Endurance 2, the sequel to the Shackleton.
Oh, Endurance 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Two Endurance, Too Furious.
Today we're talking about S.O.S. in the 19th episode of Season 2 and the 44th episode of Lost overall. Our centric characters are the island's cutest couple, Rose and Bernard. I love them. S.O.S. takes place on the 63rd day after the crash of Oceanic Flight 815. Adam.
Yeah.
Do you have a recap?
I do.
I would love desperately to hear it.
Pasadena? Not at this hour. On the island, Bernard Nadler has a plan to save everyone that will 100% not work. And in the before times, Bernard Nadler has a plan to save Rose Nadler, née Henderson, that will 100% not work. That's it. S.O.S. stands for snooze on snooze here on Lost on Lost. That might be my most heavily editorialized recap.
It's super good.
My apologies. JP.
Yeah.
We have a guest.
What?
Yeah. we managed to find somebody who hasn't been on the show before. Oh, shit. No, wait. He has been on the show before. Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary friends, put a big Lost on Lost welcome to one Carter Wedl. Welcome back, Carter.
Yeah. Holy moly. We stole his Saturday night / my Sunday morning.
For a second there, I was just going, does he really think I haven't? We gushed over Nathan Fillion. He knows I've been on this show before.
Part of my research for this episode was to go back and listen to episode 9 of Lost on Lost, the episode that Carter had previously guested on. And I don't know if this happens to other people who create comedy content, but I was literally laughing at our own shit. That's
it's a very good episode.
And it satisfies the stated premise of this entire thing was if JP and I are still laughing at the end of it, well, we succeeded.
Yes.
And anybody else?
Yes.
That's extra.
We'll see how many giggles we get out of this bummer of an episode.
You shut up. This is a great episode.
What have you been doing, Carter, since the last time you were on the show?
No, nothing really, just watching stand-up specials.
Mm-hmm.
Watched a lot of John Mulaney stuff.
You've been watching Star Trek with me.
Yes, I have.
So yeah, you've been watching the new. How do you feel about serialized Trek versus the new episodic Trek?
Not gonna lie, I think I'm a bigger fan of In Their New Worlds, Strange New Worlds.
Sure.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love a little Picard, I love a little Discovery, but I also love a little Monster of the Week.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I fucking love Monster of the Week. Like, I don't know. There's just something about it.
Plus, Captain Pike is kind of a dreamboat, so...
Yeah.
Set your phasers. Stunning.
Stop it. No, stop it.
Do you guys want to talk about Lost?
I want
Sure.
to do nothing else right now. There's nothing else on my mind besides talking about Lost. Okay, so today we're talking about S.O.S. Or should we call it S.O.S? No, it's S.O.S. S.O.S. aired on April 12th, 2006. It was written by Stephen Media and Leonard Dick and was directed by Eric Lanouville. Most of Stephen Media's writing credits are split between the X-Files and CSI Miami, so just think about that the same person wrote a lot of those two very different shows. Leonard Dick wrote 2 episodes of Sister Sister, and that's pretty fucking cool.
Oh, shit.
And Eric Lanouville Eric Lanouville directed a TV movie called The Knife and the Gun Club, and I would like to know more.
That's a compelling title.
Yeah, it sounds like what John Locke's going to open up in retirement.
We open up on the island.
On some fucking beans, and let me tell you, this show had a huge missed opportunity by not opening up on more Dharma products as opposed to eyes. Imagine, like, oh, Dharma Pepsi, you know, like insert product placement of the week into the show.
This was still a time when, they were doing more product placement, but TV was king. They didn't need additional product placement cash.
They had 4 commercial breaks during the fucking show.
Exactly.
But yeah, we open up on Bernard and Rose stocking up the kitchen, man.
The parachute, the food drop. I feel like we saw this on Lost.
Yeah, we've seen some stuff get parachuted.
And they saw a light, and then they went over to it, and it was a pallet full of groceries.
Bernard is very much like the audience voice of reason here, being like, y'all don't think that this is fucking weird?
Right?
Like,
because what does she say to him? Cereal goes on the left, Bernard. He's like, we're stranded. We're stranded on an island.
Yeah, and he's the only one like walking around asking, like, where did all of this shit come from? No one's talking about this. And she's like, whatever, like, don't look at gift horse, or when she says something about like
it's don't look blessings.
Yeah.
I get, but at the same point in time, so are people coming that they're dropping?
Right.
So people know people are on this island, or
precisely.
Maybe I'm not looking my blessings in the mouth or whatever, but like I still have questions.
Yeah, are there going to be some military etceteras coming our way who are going to be expecting this food?
This Dharma initiative, whoever they may be. Yeah. Are they going to come looking for this pallet? We stole their generic brand cereal?
Well, and that's the question where the minute you ask that question of, are people coming to use this food? I would assume that people are on their way if they're bringing food and we haven't seen a single soul.
Right.
So why shouldn't we just sit back and enjoy this tropical island while we wait for whomever is coming?
And Bernard brings up a thing too here. He's curious he's like, all these people have given up. I don't know what things were like over here, but we had a bad time over on the tail section part of the island.
Yeah, super bad.
So like his experience on the island is nowhere near the middle section survivors. And so yeah, he's considerably confused. Not only as to why things are all fucking hunky-dory over here, but like why everybody's not, more anxious to bail. Why aren't they still trying to get off? They've given up.
Well, and listen, we talked about this in a previous episode, but maybe he took the Jesse Krebs masterclass, like the 3 basic fundamentals of survival. The first should be signal, and you don't need to make an SOS. That's too many letters. You need to make a big V. That's what you need to make in the sand. Yeah. But yeah, they should have done that day 1. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like I understand the entire sort of process and story journey we go through in this whole episode.
Yeah.
All of that is trumped by the fact that Bernard's not wrong. They should have something written in the fucking sand.
Yeah. through the first few episodes of the show, yeah, they were burning signal fires, but you don't have to set a V of rocks on fire and keep it burning all the time.
Well, now hold on.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that. It would be fun.
But yeah, Bernard brings up a good point at the end of this little scene. It's like, why? Hey, did you guys give up? What the fuck? From there, we cut to the hatch.
Oh, we got Henry Gale back in the picture,
Back
baby.
in the mix. JL's working on the button, and he's trying to draw the map or the diagram.
I was trying to figure that out. Was it the hatch map?
Yeah.
Is that? I was trying to figure out where we are in the timeline here without watching the recap.
Yeah, his leg is smashed because the blast door dropped on his leg, and that's where the blast door map is. So he's trying to recreate this thing that he saw only fractions and seconds of. Oh, Carter, there's this map drawn in the back of the blast door in a black light pen. Just FYI.
Yeah, I mean, I saw he was doodling, and I just sat back and I'm like, that looks like a shirt Adam used to wear a lot.
I still have that. I still have my Dharma Security t-shirt.
Yeah, but he's really frustrated, and he's focusing so much on trying to recall what it was that he saw that he's letting the clock count down to the point where Dr. Studs has to come in and be like, you gotta get that.
There's no way I could suspend my disbelief hard enough to think that he wouldn't have turned.
Under no circumstance. It's a siren that's going off.
Annoying.
Yeah.
It gets louder and more high-pitched and beeps faster the longer you let it go. If I were on button duty, I would just have the numbers typed in.
Right.
Then you just hit enter and...
Yeah.
Exactly. You can get some sleep.
Why did they call it this was one thing that always bothered me from the beginning. They always called it the button. It's not a button, it's a computer.
Yeah, it's also a series of buttons that you have to push.
There are multiple buttons, so it's not the button. It's like the buttons, whatever. Doc goes in to check on Benry Gale Linus. Man, I forgot how fucked up he's been.
Yeah, he's in a
bad
way. He's also gone 2 days without food or water. Let me tell you, the human brain can only really survive without 3 days worth of water.
Yeah.
After 2, you're wishing for death.
He definitely looked like he was wishing for death,
Yeah.
I can tell you that much.
For sure.
Yeah, he's covered in bruises. He's got this stab wound because if I'm remembering right, Rousseau, she shot him with like her homemade crossbow.
Yeah, she shot him like while he was running away, man. Is Rousseau a cop?
Oh shit. Topical. I'm going to change your dressing, blah, 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 blah. Oh, you don't want to talk? That's fine. I was never that good at bedside manner anyway. And the
we know,
Understatement
Doc.
of the Year award goes to Dr. Jack Shepard for his performance in Just Now. Him making a joke about a shitty bedside manner is actually not horrible bedside manner.
Yeah, it comes at the price of being very meta, though. So, like, Jack is just talking to Henry, being very like, hey, all right, yeah, we're going to use you as leverage to get Walt back. And he's changing the dressing.
Yeah.
He's not doing it in, like, a way to cause stress to Benry, but he's doing it in a way that's not, being gentle by any means.
Right.
But it begs the question, is that just how Jack... changes
just
dressing.
That terrible of a doctor.
Right, exactly. Like, is he also treating old ladies the same way, just ripping it off, slapping a new one out, just go burn, granny?
You know what? Based on what I've seen so far, I'm gonna say that's how he rolls.
That's kind of where I'm leaning, Carter. That's kind of where I'm leaning.
Yeah, because Carter, the only other episode you've seen of the show, he was doing surgery.
And then
fuck,
pulls a
yeah.
and then he pulls a gun on the patients or whatever.
Which all
my
doctors
God.
do.
Poison. Did he poison the patient?
No,
Or-
he purposely cuts something like some sort
Like
of
a liver
cuts an
or-
artery.
Yeah,
And
or
he's like,
something.
he's gonna bleed
Yeah.
out in an hour, and you got to let Kate and Sawyer get away, and then I'll fix it or whatever. So yeah,
See, Carter, I thought that you were going to be our official wedding correspondent. You might be our malpractice correspondent, too.
I can do many things. I'm
Yeah.
I'm multifaceted. And there was a wedding in this episode, kind of, too.
Yes,
that's
yeah,
true.
sort of.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Carter, You contain
shit.
multitudes.
Malpractice in marriage. The M&M of Lost on Lost.
The M&M of LOL here on SOS. The button on this scene is he explains to Henry Ben that he is like, we're gonna trade you for Walt because Walt's missing.
Oh yeah, right. That old chestnut.
And then Ben breaks his little silent strike. They'll never give you Walt. Or he snickers, and then Jack's like, "Whoa, did you say something?" It's like, they'll never give you Walt. I mean, that's a big question mark. Why is Walt so important? That was a huge question mark, I think, throughout the show, is as to why is Walt so important?
Yeah, but as soon as Walt gets access to television and he starts playing fucking Power Rangers SPD at 4 a.m, you're gonna be like, get this fucking kid out of here.
Give us Shannon. That would be less annoying than Walt watching SPD Power Rangers at 4 a.m.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, we can't give you Shannon.
What about Boone? Well,
flashback to New York.
Nice little meet cute.
dude, I got so excited because I thought their little exchange here, I thought like, oh, they've been married for a while, they're just stuck. And then I realized it was their meet cute, and I lost my goddamn mind. I was like, I had to watch the scene twice because I was like, oh my god, we get to see it for the first time. Oh, I love this. I love this so much.
It was really wonderful. Rose her car is stuck in a snowbank. Bernard comes and like, it sort of opens with like that goofy like mid 2000s like mansplaining like, look, I can help you because I'm a man. And she's like, I've been driving in the snow for my whole life. I can deal with this. Back up. And he's like, I really think you need my help. And he goes to the back of the car and starts like helping her rock the car out. And she pulls away and he falls face first into the snowbank.
I mean, as born and raised Midwesterners, that has happened to me. I assume it's happened to the two of you.
Yep.
Countless times.
Not the fall, but getting stuck.
The fall down part has happened to me at least twice. Pushing
fall,
my sister
absolutely.
out of a snowbank with her old Mercedes. Yeah, that's 100% happened to me at least twice. They kind of wrap it up. She's like, oh, well, thanks for the help. See you later. And he's like, see you later. But you can tell by the way they're staring at each other. Like, they're both crushing hard.
Dude, when she's like, yeah, hey Bernard, do you want to get coffee? He about jumps out of his car like a goddamn cartoon.
Right.
The look on his face is so earnest, and I just love it.
It's like real pure joy. I love this scene. It was wonderful.
It's the same way that I look whenever somebody's like, hey, do you want to go get wings? And I'm like, yes.
I thought you'd never ask. We come back to the island. Bernard's got a plan.
Hurley, what are you doing right now? Talking to your wife. Hurley, what are you doing right now should just be called like the number 3. You know what I mean? Like that's just like the third most common thing people ask.
Right.
Like, hey, Hurley, what are you doing right now?
What does it look like I'm doing? Talking to your wife?
I'm talking about the new diet I'm on of water and fish.
Water and fish. He's trying to rope everybody into this. He's like, Hurley, you're coming. Everybody's coming. Go get Jenna and Son and like anybody. He
starts naming off all these people. I'm like,
Frogurt, Neil, the guy at the frozen yogurt stand, the Frogurt guy.
I love the fact that he's taking charge because we talked about in Exodus Part 1 how they're like, we're gonna leave in 30 minutes.
He's like, we're doing this now.
We don't need that. Get everybody 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Meet me just right over there. It's too easy.
From there we cut to the hatch. Jack's gonna go and tell the others his plan to exchange Ben for Walt. So he's got to head out to the line.
Yeah, this is like a nothing scene other than the fact that Anna Lucia gives him a gun.
Yeah, this is not the first time we've heard the line mentioned. We have yet to see the original appearance of the line. The original appearance of the line is very, very cool.
I didn't realize it was actually like a line.
I mean, it's not like a physical. It's not like a masking tape line down the middle of the island, like in fucking Laverne and Shirley. Like
showing your age with that reference, Adam. Did you stay up late watching Lawrence Welk last night? Jesus.
When I was on vacation, I was visiting my mom, and we were watching the Carol Burnett show on reruns. And I am not old enough to remember the Carol Burnett show, but like that shit slaps.
It does.
Honestly, yeah, I don't. Nothing else. Yeah, exactly. Nothing else happens except Honestly gives Jack a gun. We cut to the beach. Kate and Sawyer are doing something.
They're catching like
frogs or fish or
crayfish or something.
Jellyfish.
I don't know.
Crabs. Apparently, Carrie's not good at it, and Sawyer's dunking on her for it. But then, so Jack comes wandering up, and Sawyer is all like, "Oh, look who's here! It's Dr. Jack. He's coming to get me because I got all the guns, and he needs me." And Jack's like,
No, he calls him Dr. Giggles.
"Oh yeah, that's a talk about dated reference. What the fuck?
Wait, what is that in reference
That's
to?
a reference?
Yeah, there's an old slasher flick called Dr. Giggles. I'm
Oh.
surprised you never heard of it, JP. I'm not surprised,
No.
Carter, that you've never heard of it, but I'm a little surprised that JP you've never heard of it.
Well, I'm really tuned out of like the horror genre.
That's
so
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I never saw it myself. I just know that it is a thing.
Wow, look at the big brain on Adam. Carol Burnett, Dr. Giggles, man. You're just wait until I introduce you to something called Family Matters. Jesus. There's this guy, right? His name is Stephen Urkel.
All right, I'm ready to hear more.
I'm on board so far. No, Jack doesn't need Sawyer. He's like, I have a gun. Thank you very much. Sawyer's like, where'd you get a gun? Because I think at this point, Sawyer's supposed to have all the guns.
At some point, Sawyer gets all of the supplies. We haven't seen that.
Yeah.
And at some point, he gets all the guns, and we haven't seen that.
How didn't they murder him and take it back?
That's exactly.
Great question, Carter.
Is it because he's a dreamy main character?
His jawline is bulletproof.
Yeah. When he's sweatily collecting bamboo without a shirt on, I kind of black out a little bit. So like, whatever.
Jack's like, no, I want Kate to come with me. I have a gun. Thanks for playing, Sawyer. See you later. From there, continuous back to the beach, a different part of the beach. Bernard is explaining his plan. He wants to make a giant SOS on the beach, visible to planes and satellites.
And he's kind of upset. He's like, have you all forgotten that we're like stranded on an island here? Like, hello, we're sitting here fucking around doing all this other stuff. If we put half as much effort into getting off this island as we do just living on it, maybe that'll help. Yeah.
But we built a raft already and it got blown up.
Blowed it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he's got a point. It's like, yeah, it doesn't seem like a lot of effort goes into still getting rescued.
I don't want to jump ahead, but like Charlie and Echo are building a fucking church.
Yeah.
Like the next step is just a Jamba Juice, and like I understand Bernard's frustration.
Yes.
It makes total sense. Rose is there during the plan explaining, and she kind of like dumps on it a little bit, emasculates him a little bit, but, which is fine.
It's fine, but he's not wrong.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
the shit's getting dropped from parachutes.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
put a sign on the beach.
Yeah.
Well, the part that I was sitting back going, you didn't need to bring that part up, is when you go, well, Jack's a doctor. Well,
Yeah.
I'm a dentist. Or, you know, it's like, oh, we're dunking on dentists now and not acknowledging,
Yeah.
you know.
Like she winds him up a little bit, and like it becomes clear later on as to why she's dumping on this plan.
Yeah.
She like sort of publicly humiliates him, and despite the fact that he is right about his thing, like that was a little mean.
Well, and again, the whole like, oh, maybe we should ask Jack about putting some rocks on the beach.
Right.
Unless the others have a plane and they can see your rocks on the beach, but like, like they already know where you are.
Unless the only rocks we have are fucking medical grade rocks that Jack needs to treat people, like we can just get any rocks. Like, we don't need Jack's permission. It's a good idea. They should have just did it.
Yeah.
Fucking weeks ago. It should have been done by the time Bernard should have gotten to the beach and been like, oh shit, you guys are doing pretty much everything I would have did. I guess I'll go eat some cereal in the bamboo kitchen.
I guess I'll go catch a movie at the Island Theater.
We'll see what the professor's made out of coconuts this week.
That's exactly it. It felt, I wrote that in one of the scenes, like this feels so Gilligan's Island. Like they're so, well, we're not going to get rescued. So, okay, let's make a laboratory.
Cut to a flashback. Rose and Bernard are on a lovely date at a lovely restaurant. With a lovely view.
We've dunked on some pretty bad green screen in the show before. I don't know if it's because I have 1 megabyte of service where my work trip has got me, but like it didn't look that bad from my POV.
No,
It didn't look terrible on my end either.
Yeah, you could tell it was a green screen, but it looked fine. Like,
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't egregious.
Yeah,
so
no, I thought
good job, post team.
Yeah, no, good job. And Rose is talking to him, and he's like not listening to her. He's like looking
Oh.
because he's trying to make his big romantic gesture come off, so he gets the band over. Like, just whatever you're talking about, Rose. Just shut up for a second. I have these 3 violinists.
He's trying to like cue them over, like, you fuck knuckles. I talked to you about this. Get over here.
I'm doing the sign. Come over.
Now, I've been a bachelor for 56 years.
Is that your Bernard impression, or is that just you stating that, Carter?
I'm terrible at impressions, and that was my Bernard.
I missed the part of the episode where Bernard was an old-timey prospector.
Well, he's definitely old. And he comes across as a surly old man.
Yeah, but he's so charming.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because it is a cute speech. He gets down on one knee and he said, yeah, I've been a bachelor for 56 years, and not once in my life did I ever think anything was wrong with that until I met you. And will you marry me? And it's a really sweet proposal, and it's a really romantic setting with music and a view and all this stuff. And Rose doesn't want to say yes.
Yeah.
She confesses to him that she's dying of cancer.
Yeah, holy shit.
That just took the wind right out of the sails.
Yeah, that fucking hit me in the chest like a fucking hammer.
And that instantly made me go, okay, now I see his urgency with wanting to get them off this damn island.
Oh, totally.
'Cause
Yeah.
Stranded Island, she's got 0 chance, as opposed to, maybe we can delay something.
This progression of the storyline of Rose being sick and the island and, Bernard's entire journey, I fucking love this so much. Yeah. This is so well thought out. Mm-hmm. And like, she's like, I don't want to say yes unless you know what you're in for.
Yeah.
And like, without any hesitation, he's like, of course I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, then let's spend what time we have together. And I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah. She says, I've got a year, maybe a little bit more, but that's it. And there's no getting around it. And his response was, you didn't answer my question.
Yeah.
And that was fucking awesome. Like,
oh my God. So good.
I had tears in my eyes almost the entire scene.
I did try to pause the video to like really get a good look at the ring, since this is the wedding crew. And I couldn't get a good look at it. I assume it's fine.
It looked like a nice regular diamond ring from what I could tell.
I would laugh if it was the same exact prop that they used for Kate's wedding ring.
Shut your mouth.
Come back to the island. Bernard is over at fucking St. Michael's trying to recruit Echo and Charlie because they're working, just not on something useful. Hey, what are you guys doing? Come and help me with the thing. We're busy.
Doing what?
Building a church. 2 questions. 1, why? And 2, knock it off. I have other stuff for you to do, so come on.
Oh my God. Bernard has so many good little one-liners in this. Is like, what, you sleep next, to a guy next to 48 days or whatever, and now you won't even talk to your old bunkmate or whatever. Like, yeah. And basically they're like, no, we're not going to help you. You can't have our logs. Go away.
Yeah.
Then we're going to build a post office and a Pizza Hut and
a Taco Bell, and then we're going to put the Pizza Hut and the Taco Bell together.
Mr. Echo said I could be the comptroller. Cut back to the hatch.
Yeah. Locke has got to talk to Ben. Part of his whole sort of small existential crisis that he's dealing with, the post-door adventure, whatever. What'd you call it? The good old hatch mess around?
A good old hatch mess around.
Honestly, won't open the door. She's like, it's got to stay closed because our one gun is gone. So, like, talk to him through the door. I don't know what she's repairing.
Dude, I wrote that too.
Just like with a ratchet, just like, what are you fixing?
It feels very like reminiscent of Fast and Furious. Like, she's good at ratchet wrench, I guess. Like,
Well, I was just waiting for her to start talking about family and
I thought she was repairing whatever Charlie had built out of the wire and scrap in that episode.
Wait, what if at the end of Lost they're just making the fucking robot from the Jetsons? Like that's what gets them off the island.
we need Rosie now.
There you go.
Locke, he asked Ben if he pushed the button.
Did Henry do something different? Did he do something weird? And he's trying to get answers from him, and Henry's just grinning that evil little fucking smile on the other side, not saying a goddamn thing.
I honestly thought that the shot was only going to be of the bottom half of his mouth. Or the bottom half of his face. It slowly tracked up to show his whole face, but I was thinking to myself, what if the pan up just stopped and all we saw was his mouth as he smiled?
Arguably that's a better shot. I love that.
But it was but the look on Ben's face when it's sick.
Yeah.
It's sick smile. He's in such rough shape, but everything's going to plan for him.
It's the same smile that Carter has every time someone asks him his thoughts on the Rush Hour franchise.
Listen, let me tell you right now that I did understand the words coming out of his mouth.
Ben's entire point here at the middle section Survivor Beach is to sow discord.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that he has had the ever-loving fuck beat out of him, he's still pulling it off. Cut to a different part of the island. Back to the beach. Bernard is continuing to work on the signal. Most folks have already bailed. Like Hurley and Jin are still there, and like two other people.
Craig, Frogert, where'd they go?
Frogert, where did everybody?
They couldn't stand you anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, the crux of it is, all right, we need the black rocks, and we're going to put them on the beach here, and they will create contrast against the sand. Great idea. But they're about a half-mile walk. And that news, everybody starts kind of shifting their eyes, and they're like,
I've tried to put myself in one of the survivors' shoes and thinking to myself, I don't have anything to do today, but I also don't have time to fucking hump heavy ass rocks from the lava field a half mile to the beach.
Every time you go a half mile, you get one, maybe two rocks.
Yeah.
Oof, that's shitty work.
It's almost like we should have started this fucking 7 weeks ago and we'd be done with it. I'll do a rock a day. That's fine.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
Flashback.
Flashback. Australia.
They're driving.
Yeah.
Rose was like, we're lost. We're totally lost.
They're lost. And Bernard's like, we're not lost. And I'm like, he said the thing.
Drink. He says, I know exactly where we're going because this is one of his plans. He's brought Rose to a faith healer named Isaac of Uluru. And he explains to her the whole thing, how he donated some money to get her this thing.
Money.
Did you? Yeah, he donated $10,000, which is not something you want to be telling your new wife on your honeymoon.
It's reminiscent of the car commercial where you bought your significant other a car for Christmas.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah.
Open your eyes. Oh, fuck. A RAV4, we cannot. I don't need a new car.
You have been unemployed for 6 years.
$10,000. Yeah, no, you're right. That is not some money. That's $10,000.
Yeah.
But Bernard he's sold on it. He believes in this. He thinks it's real. You know, he's like, I've heard testimonials, like people heard about your, situation.
He's legit.
I'm surprised she wasn't more upset with him at chatting up her situation to, who are you talking to about my situation?
Yeah.
Who are you? Like, I get, bless your heart. I know you're trying to help. I know you're trying to find a way for me to be healthy. But now you're letting me know on our honeymoon, when I told you we have to embrace every moment together.
It's very much the resolve of this entire scene is she's like, I've got a year left, less than a year. I want to spend that enjoying my time, not having you running me around. She says, I didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend all of my time going, to fucking doctor's appointments or whatever.
A bit of trivia. when she shouts that at him, I didn't ask for this. That is the only time Rose ever raises her voice in the show.
Really?
Yeah. According to Lostpedia. The button on this scene is Bernard gives the thing that we are now, realizing he has to try. If something's wrong, he's got to try. He's not the type of person who can do nothing. If he thinks he can help, he's going to try to help. So, despite the fact that, again, she didn't ask for this, he can't sit idly by is his sort of motivation. Cut back to the island. Bernard's trying to recruit Sawyer, and nobody talks like this.
Yeah.
Pasadena. Like, if I didn't have the captions on, I wouldn't have understood what he was trying to say.
I was very confused.
PASS, like pass dash Adena. And I was like, oh, he's saying pass.
And what's the reference to Norma Ray?
Dude, I don't know. It's the Sand Factory, Norma Ray. I like me some Carol Burnett show, but like, I don't know Norma Ray.
Yeah, it's a Sally Field where she holds up the Union sign.
Oh,
that's that one.
Yeah.
Bernard and Rose are in the kitchen at the same time for the first time since their earlier argument. He says this pretty shitty thing to her.
Ooh, yeah.
Implying that for whatever reason, Rose basically owes him her life.
Right. She's like, why can't you just let things be? And she's like, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me.
The nice thing about it is that you can see on Sam Anderson's face, he does a really good job of acting here. He knows what a shitty thing it was to have said, and you can see it on his face.
He says it, and he's like, what the fuck did I just say?
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't mind somebody saying or doing something shitty in a show when then they immediately recognize, because like people say things in the heat of the moment that they don't mean. It happens all the time. It happens in real life.
Happens on this podcast.
Fuck you, Mallrats was good. When I was listening back to the Carter episode earlier, JP, you said fuck you 4 different times to no one in particular. Just like as an exclamation, 2 sentences you were saying.
I mean, that checks out. I don't deny that.
So but she ends up walking away after he says this thing, and Sam Anderson does some really good nonverbal acting.
Cut back to the jungle. Jack and Kate are fucking around.
Dude, so like they're heading to the line. They're jabbering about whatever. Jack says like some shitty shit to her. Oh, they didn't want you. They didn't want me. They didn't want anybody. Like, what's happening? Then there's a doll on the ground.
Oh yeah.
And
why are you picking up a creepy ass doll in the middle of the jungle?
Never do that. Never pick up a doll. If you see a doll in a place that doesn't belong, don't touch it.
For a lady who's been on the run from the law and is always looking over her shoulder, of all people who should know not to pick up this damn doll, it's Kate.
Especially after Jack verbally says don't. Like multiple times. It's like, stop.
I mean, it's obviously a trap. What else would it be?
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, she picks it up and they ended up getting snagged in a net.
In a sexy net.
Oh, do they ever.
Let's see. We also saw a creepy doll the first time Jack was in the cave, and we saw some creepy like kid's toy in the cave when Locke had to save Echo. So like baby shoes never worn. Like what's happening here?
Real weird.
Yeah, I don't like it.
He says don't several times. We cut to commercial in the middle of this when we come back from the break. We're in the same scene. And he gets her. He sings her, which I liked. He was like, what are you doing? What do you mean? Oh, so you can hear me. Like, that was funny. I was like, that's a good joke.
That's good. That is.
She's like, I'm going to get the gun. Because I thought, and this is what I thought she was going to get the gun and then she was going to fire it 3 times, the universal signal for distress in the wild, 3 gunshots in the air.
Right.
But no, I'm going to shoot the rope because I'm fucking Annie Oakley.
I'm just thinking, of the 2 of them, though, who's more likely to actually make that shot? I would put my money on Kate.
Here's the problem. Oh my god, I can't believe I have to fucking bring this up again. We finally hear Kate say that she hunted with her dad a lot as a kid. Great. Now I have some context for Kate maybe doing tracking or fucking whatever.
Sure.
But again, in the pilot, I think it's part 2, she doesn't know how to unload or disassemble the firearm.
Yeah.
But then she's also like a crack shot. in this episode. And I'm just like, I need consistency with Kate because she's just all over the fucking place.
Now that you mentioned it, I'm just thinking about this now. Maybe in the early days of being on the beach, she was putting up a front, trying to play it down, that she knew a lot about guns, that she, had all these skills. I don't know.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Because maybe she didn't know what role she was going to
fugitive
play.
and she didn't want to seem like a gun tote. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Maybe.
I'm back in.
Maybe. Maybe this show's better than we think it is.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Because at my last note on this scene where they're stuck in the net, it's just I wrote useless scene.
It's just so they can be forced to like close
Damn
the
near
distance and be
kiss.
body to body. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing happened. They do get out.
No.
Whatever. Neat. Well done.
Yeah. Whatever. Johnny, get the net. Cut back to the beach.
Yep. Jin's the only one left.
Yeah. God bless him.
He understands the value of labor to a point.
Yeah.
Up until Bernard gets a little too much attitude.
Yeah.
Bernard, excuse me. He can complete one row and then start a second and then start a third. He's doing your basic outline. Don't fucking take that tone of voice with my sweet boy Jim.
Especially since he's the only remaining volunteer.
And he doesn't speak English, so you're yelling.
Wait.
Doesn't do a lick of good.
The gesturing and all that, Jin realizes that, whatever Bernard's attempting to do, he's trying to do it 4 rows. He gets it,
Right.
but then he's like, dude, like,
I got my own shit to worry about.
yeah, I have a wife too. Like, I'm going to go check on
Yeah.
her. Maybe we'll pick this up tomorrow. I don't know. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
We don't have to get this all done today.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Cut to Johnny Locke sitting on the beach,
Yeah.
pouting, being all salty.
Yeah, just kind of staring out into the ocean, pouting. Yeah, his legs still
My
hurt.
leg hurts. Fucking, I can't remember what the shapes look like. I haven't caught anything in my net in the jungle with a baby doll thing.
Rose comes up, sees him pouting, gonna try and cheer him up a little bit. She's like, hey, it's nice to see you outside, getting some sun. Stop being so weird with the hatch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How's the button going? I'm done with the button. Button's over.
It's not my
Moved on.
hatch. It's not my button. And we get a very weird music sting here, and I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And Rose is like, well, you'll be back up and running in no time. And John's like, well, Jack said it'd be 4 weeks. And Rose like, but we both know it's not going to be that long. And I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? What is this? I love this. What is happening?
What did you think, Carter? What did you think was happening? What was going on?
I honestly didn't know. I was sitting back going, I assumed like, oh, they've been seeing other people getting healed up on stuff stupidly quickly. At the same point in time, well, that's what I thought they were saying. I could see there's some weird wink and a nod
Yeah. And that's
going
I love
on
that
here
shit.
that they know something that I either don't know or I'm going to find out.
We cut back to our healer, Isaac.
And his creepy ass murder shed.
No, I was laughing uncontrollably by myself in the office because all I could think of was the trampoline episode of The Simpsons when Marge yells, "Don't bring home any more old crutches." That's a terrible Marge Simpson impression, but you get it.
It's not as good as my Bernard.
The interior of Isaac and Uluru's house is covered in walkers and crutches. Presumably all from people he has healed. There's letters and pictures. It's all a big shrine to Isaac's mystical powers.
And Rose looks skeptical, to say the least.
To say the least.
She walks in and is like, okay, whatever.
She asks, like, how's this work? And he says there are different places in the world that have different types of energy. We don't know what kind of energies they are, but I have the ability to channel these energies and use them to help people. And so he goes, he sets Rose down. He sits down across from her. He puts his hands around her head and he focuses for only just a moment. And then he stops and he says, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's kind of like shook a little bit.
Yeah. He's like, I can't fix this, which is bonkers because most of the time when you encounter a faith healer, at least in entertainment, there's some sort of, huckster.
Right. And be like, oh, well, that's it. You're healed. You're done.
Yeah. You're all better. Thanks for the 10 grand. So for this guy to say that he can't do it, like no con artist faith healer would do that.
Well, and he even offers the money back.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll give you your fucking 10 grand back, man.
It's like, oh shit, maybe he's not a con artist, regardless of if it's real or not, he maybe is believing he's not running a scam.
He's sipping his own Kool-Aid here.
So yeah, he offers to give the money back, but Rose says, no, keep it. I'm going to tell Bernard that this worked, because then he'll stop trying to fix me.
Again, she wants to just enjoy the time they have left together. She's like, I'll take a turn for the worst, and he's just gonna have to deal with that. But until then, we can just put this part behind us.
Right. Maybe actually enjoy the rest of our honeymoon.
This is the part that then confused the hell out of me, because now I'm sitting back going, I get, hey, we don't all want to be trapped on this island, but now if he thinks she's healed, why is he so gung-ho to get them all off?
Right.
Like when I thought, oh, she's got terminal cancer.
Right, she needs treatment or something.
Of course he wants to get her off the island, but now it's like...
Now, does he just want to get off the island so that they can get back to enjoying their life? Like, is that the big hurry? Like, yeah.
I think that's what it is, but Carter, I think that's a more compelling sort of story arc, but then, like, that would be hard to sell, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
But no, that's a really good call out.
Cut back to the island. Kate and Jack, it's pouring rain. Kate mentions the other hatch. She's like,
what the fuck?
Another hatch, some sort of medical station. Jack's like, why the fuck didn't you tell me? And she's like, I'm not in the loop. It's more secret keeping, more bullshit.
Again, we have physical structures, and yet people want to sleep on the beach. Okay, whatever. I don't fucking care anymore.
They achieve the line. They arrive at the line. Jack points out all these, like, look, that's where so and so took a shot at me. That's where I threw down my gun, and that's where I lost my virginity and whatever. It's all real stupid.
And that's where Charlie Holt pushed me down the stairs in the 3rd grade.
We come back to the beach. Bernard is working on the sign by himself. Rose brings him some dinner. She says, I owe you an apology.
Yeah. So yeah, she's like, I owe you an apology, but it's not for what I said earlier. It's for when I lied to you in Australia.
Yeah.
And he's like, what are you talking about? And she reveals that Isaac did not, in fact, heal her. And he's like, well, what are you talking about? Of course he did. Oh, I assume that now the passage of time, enough time has passed or whatever to where her health probably would have started to decline in some way, shape, or form.
Right. It would have hypothetically been a couple of months at this point. Because, if Bernard's, back from the other side of the island after 7 weeks, maybe they were at Uluru maybe a week before they tried to return on 8/15.
Well, and who knows how long it took them to get married and go on the honeymoon. And, the clock has been ticking from the moment, she told him, I've got less than a year left. But then she says, well, just because he didn't heal me doesn't mean that I'm not healed.
Yeah.
Which points to the energy of the island.
Well, and just Bernard's confusion.
Yeah.
The look on his face of none of this is
Right.
That actor did very well.
Oh, dude, they're both just absolute fucking
there.
rock stars. They're both so good.
She says she believes that the island has healed her because she says when you're sick and you have something inside you that doesn't belong there, you can feel it. And I don't feel it anymore ever since we got to the island. And we know Rose is a woman of faith. She believes in God. She's made mentions of blessings and all this stuff like in the times we see her. So we know she believes in something. And so for her to be able to say something like that and believe it, like the strength of her conviction, I feel in the performance.
It's also interesting from sort of a visual perspective because this is the first time I think we've gotten a voiceover that bleeds over into a flashback of them. You just get her sitting in the airport and she's talking about, when there's something wrong, you can feel it and you can just see this look on her face of she knows she's dying. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even though we're spending time together, here I am wasting what time I have left sitting in a fucking airport. Yeah, she drops her medication.
A wheelchair. rolls into frame, and a hand comes down and picks up the pill for her.
Yes, it does.
And it tracks up.
Oh, is it?
Oh, what a small world. It's John Locke in his wheelchair at the airport. Is this yours? Yeah, thanks. There you go. He wheels off. Oh.
I fucking love this so much. Oh, man.
Rose is one of, I think, about 3 people that ever actually find out that John Locke was paralyzed prior to being on the island. Like, because that never becomes common knowledge for the survivors. The earlier scene between Rose and John, now we get the payoff of it. We understand the healing properties of the island because I saw you 2 months ago and you couldn't walk.
And I don't know, it's not creepy, but it enforces this, like, we both share something because we know that there is something going on here, and it has helped us both. But we don't know what it is, so we're not really going to, like, talk about it openly.
We're not going to tempt fate here.
Right.
Bringing it up will suddenly make it disappear.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. I loved it. I absolutely love that little reveal.
And then the extension of Rose's belief, Bernard believes in Rose.
Mm-hmm.
And because she believes, he believes. And he says, we'll stay here forever.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, the 3rd time in the episode I got all teary-eyed.
Oh, dude. It's so... He doesn't need to understand the workings of it.
No.
He just needs to understand this island has saved the love of my life, and let's not risk it. We will just, like, all we need is each other. Yeah. And I was, dude, it's getting real fucking dusty in here.
Now he's going to go help build that church.
What denomination are we building? Because I'm Latter-day Saints, and that's really important to me.
I'm Seventh-day Adventist, so...
Ooh, if we don't have snakes in this church, there's going to be a problem.
Cut back to the hatch. Ana Lucia pressed the button for John while he was moping on the beach. But John's little chat with Rose has revitalized him.
Yeah, got him kind of going again.
Yeah, and so he sits back down at the computer at the several buttons, pulls out a new cocktail napkin, and goes back to work trying to work on the map. From there, we got
it's a true love montage.
Yeah.
It's John and his creepy shit. You know, Echo and Charlie's son and Jen. Claire and fucking Turnip Head.
It's wonderful.
I just wanted Sawyer's to be with like a soft pack of Marlboros, you know. He's just like happily like looking at the cigarette as it's lit, and he like gives it a little kiss, and he goes back to smoking.
We've come a long way, baby. But the montage fades out, and we go back to Jack and Kate over at the line. Kate apologizes to Jack for kissing him. He says, nah, it's all right. It's fine. I'm not sorry that you kissed me. There's a bunch of commotion. And maybe, oh, God, is it the others? No. It's Michael motherfucking Dawson.
And he's looking like he's in rough shape, man.
Yeah. Not somebody they expected to see, it seems like.
No.
Because they're like, what? Michael? Oh, man. And that's it. Smash cut to the card. Lost.
I would like to say, don't ever apologize for kissing someone, like, because now you're trying to take that back. Have a conversation about how it makes the other person feel and if they're upset that it happened, but don't apologize. Like, don't say that you're sorry that you did it. That's just not good relationship building.
Or don't open with it. You know, have the conversation, and if you overstepped and you made a mistake, then go ahead and apologize. But don't start from there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So speaking of which, JP, that one time in college that you and I, I just laid one on you, and I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry.
Oh, that one. No, don't worry about that. I thought you were talking about the time where we both locked eyes and then in unison shit our pants together. Anyways, so did we like it? Was it good? Carter, what did you think about S.O.S.?
It felt more or less like a season 1 episode.
Oh, totally.
Where you're just getting the backstory of all the characters. And it's like, my brain went, oh, cool, backstory of these people, and oh, I'm sorry for this woman and everything like that. But at this same point in time, we're pretty damn deep in the season 2. This should have been covered if it was really important. This feels like a filler episode to me at this point.
It definitely is, but man, this is some good filler.
Oh, it was fantastic, but I just know if I were watching it in actual order as it's airing, I would have sat back and gone, really?
Sure.
I mean, yeah, the ending with Michael coming in, there's some excitement for you, but the rest of it, I would have just been like, oh, this is a filler episode. I can miss this one.
JP, what do you think?
Yeah, I really like this episode. The Jack and Kate stuff, it got just to the point of like really aggravating me, but there was enough like little cutesy dialogue where I was like, all right, you get a pass for now. All of the Rose and Bernard shit, all of the stuff going on at the beach, yes, 100%, 2 thumbs up. Adam?
I loved the character stuff. I loved the Rose and Bernard stuff. The things that ended up bothering me where Carter touched on it, like why is this episode 19? This feels like stuff that could have been earlier in the season 2 or even covered in season 1. And then as far as like moving forward of story and mythology, we only got a couple of little things. So anytime we weren't looking at Rose and Bernard, I found myself a little bored.
Like dude, Anna Lucia, like I don't fucking care, and like Locke kind of being pouty.
There were a couple of good jokes and a couple of good lines, but as far as like forward momentum, that part was lacking for me. So but no, the Rose and Bernard stuff was so good that it almost made up for that. Not quite, but almost. But again, we've been talking about this a lot, I think, in recent episodes about Lost being a character show. Like, this was excellent character stuff.
Okay, well then let's get to our end of show segments. Lost MVP. Who is your favorite? Who's the all-star? Who gets an A+ for the day? Carter, who is your MVP?
For me, Rose is my MVP. Like, she, throughout the entire episode, I'm just sitting back being like, I like this lady. Everything I saw her do, especially when they're in Australia, and she's like, no, you're going to tell that, I'm going to tell that man you healed me. It's like everything she did made perfect sense. And I was on board for Rose.
JP?
The violin players, listen, like they get put into like, they were a little slow out of the gate, but like all of a sudden they hear, will you marry me? And then she goes, I'm dying. And we don't get the violin screech that, they just kept going. They're just looking at each other and like, do we sound fucking good right now? Like,
professionals.
Dude, they killed it. They just fucking killed it. And I appreciate the effort they put into it. So, Adam, MVP.
L. Scott Caldwell and Sam Anderson, the 2 actors playing Rose and Bernard. Wonderful performances from both of them. Facially, verbally, body language. Not one single point where I didn't believe 100% that those 2 characters were wildly in love. And that it was one of those storybook fantasy fairy loves that extends from time immemorial to the ends of all creation.
But the flip side of that, then, who's lost forever? Who is not love eternal? Who do you wish would go walk into the ocean and never be heard from again? Carter.
Mine is whoever wrote most of Bernard's stuff. Just because I was like, okay, you're right. We need some sort of SOS sign. I'm on board for that. But his just neurotic energy and everything. And I'm sitting back going, he thinks his wife is healthy.
Sure.
I got thrown around so much going, so why is he so up his own ass about this?
Sure. That's fair.
That because again, when it's she has cancer, totally get it. Now I understand why he's Wait, now he thinks she's healthy. Okay, now I'm even more confused.
Right. Why do we need to rush so? Why do we need to kill ourselves moving these rocks?
JP, who's your lost MVP? You're lost forever.
So I'm just gonna say Isaac, but it might be somebody within Isaac's organization. If you're getting $10,000 a pop for these fucking healing sessions, you can afford to have a better font on your brochure than Papyrus. Okay, that is.
Hey, this was 2004.
I don't know.
JP.
Listen.
Maybe 2005.
No, Gotham Bold has been there the whole time. Fuck you. You do not use papyrus. If I see a coffee shop, somebody's like, this coffee shop is great, let's go. And I see it's papyrus font, I fucking walk out. No, I do not associate with that font. It's the worst font. Adam. It's forever.
Charlie.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I just like, he was there and just like him being, he was like real smug about helping build the church. And that was just really aggravating to me. I was like, you don't care about this church. You're just doing it because you want Echo to think you're cool.
Well, I would want Echo to think I was cool.
Tertiary characters helping. Hurley versus Charlie. They're both ostensibly doing the same thing, but I love Hurley the way he does it, and I hate Charlie the way he does it.
Yeah, that's fair. And you called them tertiary characters. They're both main characters.
Well, but
and
they're not necessarily
tertiary
in
to the story, but like this
Right.
This was one of the only episodes of Lost which the centric characters were guest cast, which is bonkers.
That's
like,
kind of what I meant by that. Like in this episode, they're kind of tertiary.
Yeah, and I don't understand why Rose and Bernard weren't main characters at some point. You could have gotten a lot of mileage out of those two characters, and they just didn't decide to make them main cast. They just decided to have fucking Charlie helping build the church.
Whatever. I would like to do a burning questions.
Do it.
When Kate talks about the medical facility they found, and it just had a bunch of old tattered clothes and makeup and a beard. We talked about this before, how like the others have like a fucking subdivision, like, and like
the
these really nice houses
where they actually live. Yeah, and it looks like a suburb.
Right. But when they're dealing with Michael in 3 minutes, they're all in like these brown tattered clothes. Like I don't quite get the deception. I don't quite get what's going on with all that, and I find it very interesting. So,
Carter, do you have a burning question?
My burning questions were mostly, I don't understand why this is happening. What is going on? And some of it was fake stuff for me, which was nice. But
so Carter, would you say that you have more of just a general burning? Call drop out there? What's going on?
I had a burning question that was reinforced in this episode is again why is Walt special?
Talks to birds or some dumb shit. I don't know.
Something, yeah. Like they still have yet to answer that question, and they keep bringing it up.
Again, I'm starting to not fucking care about it a lot because they keep asking it and not answering it, and I'm like, losing interest. Don't care. Carter,
thanks for coming on the show, man.
Glad to be here. It was a hoot. Always a hoot.
Yes, thank you for giving up a weekend night, man. Let me tell you.
No, because you know me. I'm a rip-roaring party fella. Woo.
Rip-roaring party fella. I'm gonna make sure that gets put on your tombstone. Well,
let's see. If you're looking to be lost with us, next time we're going to be watching Season 1, Episode 3, Tabula Rasa, starring Kate.
Episode 38 of Lost on Lost. We are finally going to cover the second episode of Lost.
Well, because we've covered the fourth, right? So, like, I think... I think
I don't know if we did 4 yet. I think we did 5.
So we might find out why Sawyer has everything. God, I hope we do. I fucking hope we do. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Lost on Lost.
Yeah, I'm Adam.
I'm JP.
Do you have any idea what's going on the show?
No.
Me neither. Lost on Lost is produced and edited by me and JP.
We wish to acknowledge that we live, work, and produce our show on occupied land.
Burbank, California is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Tongva, Chumash, Kizh, and Fernandino Tataviam peoples.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Peoria, Potawatomi, Miama, and Ho-Chunk peoples.
And Lost was produced in Hawaii on the lands of the Kanaka Maoli.
Visit native-land.ca to learn more about the land you live and work on.
You can engage with us on IG, Facebook, and Twitter at Lost on Lost 1.
You can also email us at wearelostonlost@gmail.com or support us with dollar monies at coffee.com/wearelostonlost.
Thanks to Lostpedia and its community of contributors, Danny Schmitz, random.org, and as always, you the listeners for tuning in.
We're hosted at Podbean. You can hear us there or wherever you get your podcasts, except MySpace. We're not on MySpace.
Yet.